Hola, Ruth Finswaite here, and here I want to talk a little bit about why we use an immersive instructional model. Our methodology of how we teach is using Spanish to teach Spanish. Now, why would we do that? We call that immersion or immersive instruction, and we do that because we think it's what's going to provide the most functional language learning experience for your student. Now, many people ask me, how come I don't get any note cards home, Ruth, that say rojo and red on the back? Because I don't want your student to learn and to be practicing that rojo and red go together. Red. Rojo and red go together. I want them to hear rojo and I want them to see red things in their head. A graphic with the word builds the understanding so that they are practicing functioning in the language and not going back and forth between languages. Now, why would this be so important to me? Because I want to provide the greatest chance that when your student actually hits the streets and is using their Spanish, they're not going back and forth between English and Spanish. Because if you've ever been in a conversation where you're actually trying to translate everything being said to you and then figure out what you want to say in English and give it back to them in another language, in this case Spanish, it's like doing the American box step. And we want the Sombrero Time salsa. We want them thinking, moving, speaking Spanish. So we need to practice that. It's like as if I was riding my bike and then I wanted to run a marathon. It's not going to work. So why do we practice a translation model? That's why parents and folks and teachers, I don't ask my kids to translate back and forth. And I promote them using the Spanish that they have to communicate what they can. Say what you can with what you have. That's my motto, because this is real world. I'm not going to have a translator sitting next to me when someone's speaking to me. So I want to train my kids to press into language they don't understand and grab hold of what they can. I also want to train my kids that if they can't say it exactly the way they want to, how would they use the language that they have to communicate as close as possible to what they want to say? This is functional language. So, my approach to Spanish language instruction is an immersive model. They will hear the most Spanish in that setting. Their listening comprehension will develop the fastest, and they will be the most functional in conversation. Now, this is not my idea. It's happening all over Europe, Asia, India. I don't know why we use a translative model here. But I want to inspire you instructors out there and you parents out there, try to use Spanish to trigger the Spanish, because this is the thing I always get from parents, especially in the beginning levels of my program. I asked Johnny to say something in Spanish to his grandma. Ask her how she's doing. Well, this is language your kids know because we use that kind of conversational language every day, but we don't trigger it in English. Translation comes later when you use an immersive model. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ping me on Facebook, Twitter, get online. I'm at ruth@sombreroTime.com. But that's immersion for you. Hasta luego.